Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode from Zero to N. Today, I am with Brandon Leibowitz. Brandon is the founder of SEO Optimizers, a company that helps you to build your brand and company on the internet. Brandon has been doing this from like more than 15 years, and he has been an expert in it. And we are going to talk about that. We're going to talk about digital marketing, social media marketing, and how you can do analytics to get information about that data. And basically, Brandon is an expert in it. So we're going to talk about all these topics. And Brandon, can you introduce yourself to the audience so they know where are you located? What are your passions besides your work and anything fun you want to share?
Yeah, my name is Brandon Leibowitz. I'm from Los Angeles and I've been involved with digital marketing, like you said, since 2007 and really help people kind of focus on getting free traffic from Google, specifically like focused on SEO. But my free time, love skateboarding or traveling and just getting out there and exploring the world.
That's great. I love skateboarding as well. I used to do it when I was younger, and I am afraid of getting hurt, so I don't do it that much.
Yep, same here. Not recover. The pavement hurts. Concrete is not that forgiving. So gotta
All
be.
right. Cool. And then Brandon, tell me a little bit about how did you manage to start doing your own business with this SEO optimizers? Because if you go like 15 years before, this thing of SEO was pretty new, right? So even like 20 years ago, this SEO thing was not a thing on the job market, and now there is SEO experts that they do consultancy for their services. So that's something that you found very early in the game, I believe. So can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, no, it kind of just fell into it after I graduated from college. First job I got was helping a company out with their SEO and wasn't planning on SEO, didn't know anything about it. Got my degree in business marketing, but they said, we want to take you to classes and workshops and kind of learn with you about SEO, which was interesting. And after a few months working there, I kind of realized, I feel like everyone's going to have a website in the future. And SEO is a way to get free traffic. And why spend money on ads when, I mean, they work, ads work, social media. I was kind of doing it all for them, helping out with all aspects of digital marketing, but just really focused more on that free traffic. And ever since then, been working at different advertising agencies, working at different mom and pop shops, helping out Fortune 500 companies and everything in between. And then a few years ago, quit my job and just really focused on my own business. So always on the side, like that's one of the main things that attracted me to SEO is you just pick up freelance work here and there. So I was always working full time and pick up like maybe one or two clients here or there just to make some extra money. But a few years ago, I said, how about I really focus on this business that I have and really push it and build it up, and built it up and was able to make more than I was making at my advertising agency that I was working at. So quit my job a few years ago just to really focus on this.
That is great, because you did what a lot of us are afraid of, like burning our chips and do start something. And that's great because you see the benefit of it. I mean, every company needs to be aware of SEO, because if they don't, they will just be there like with luck. Google will find them, or if they are big enough, we'll find them. But if you are not, SEO is the help that you need to get out of the world, right? So can I know that you're an expert on it, and maybe will be some silly questions, but for the audience, can you explain like the benefits of SEO? Because I know this is something that will bring organic traffic to your site, but it's like you're an expert, so you can tell better about it.
Yeah, no, with SEO, it's really just capturing that free traffic. So when you search on Google, there's ads at the top, there's ads at the bottom, but in between the ads are the SEO, the organic, the free listings. So SEO is all about getting you that free traffic so you don't have to spend money on ads, because a lot of people are searching on Google. And if you're not on that first page of Google, your competitors are going to be up there and they're going to get that traffic and they're going to get those clients. So you got to be up there and get that presence and try to capture that free traffic. That's the main thing I like about SEO is it's that free traffic. And if you like run paid ads and you stop running paid ads, you're just going to disappear. Whereas if you do SEO and you stop doing SEO, you're not just going to disappear. Over time, your competitors are going to do more SEO than you've done, but you're not just going to disappear. It's going to take time. So that's where I like it. It's more of a long-term strategy for a business, is just capturing that free traffic indefinitely.
Yeah, and besides free traffic, I mean, yeah, it's free traffic because you are on the search result from Google. But the good thing about it is that you are on the very top, right? Because if I search for SEO optimizers, you are like the first, and it's your first for your website, for your Facebook, for your LinkedIn. So you manage to do SEO for all the platforms you have. So that's a good thing about it, right? You can do SEO not just for websites, but for anything, right?
Yep, for Amazon, for Yelp, or Wikipedia, any website out there, they're all algorithms,
Mhm.
YouTube, all that stuff. So just try to tap into that and see what they're looking for and how you can incorporate that onto your YouTube channel or to your Amazon products or to your website for Google for SEO or whatever it may be. But all those sites all have algorithms.
Yeah, exactly. I am a software developer and I work on e-commerce, and there is always requirement about SEO, because product detail page, category page needs to be able to be crawled by Google, so you can see like blue jeans for your company instead of random blue jeans, right? So the SEO on e-commerce is like very big deal. You actually need it in order to survive. Otherwise, as you say, your competitors will do for you, right?
Yep, yep. Unfortunately, you got to be up there, otherwise someone else is going to be there capturing that traffic because there's only 10 spots. There's not too many positions, so a lot of people are fighting for that. And if you're not up there, someone else is going to be trying to get up there.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're as I said, you're an expert at it. What kind of tips you can tell to the audience so they can understand better how they can build their SEO strategy?
That with SEO, it's like a puzzle. There's a lot of pieces to it.
Mhm.
Some pieces are bigger than others, so like every website's different. So the basic, like more important things are like content on the website, having good original content on every single page, and backlinks. Those are like two more most important things. There's a lot of other variables that go into it,
Mhm.
but if you really want to rank on Google, you need to have what are called backlinks. You need other websites talking about you. The more websites that talk about you, the more trust Google's going to give to you. And then Google looks at the keywords on your website. But it doesn't work the other way around. Without backlinks, it's pretty much impossible to rank on Google. You can make a perfect website, have it load in half a second, have all the keywords everywhere, but without backlinks, Google just doesn't trust you. And a backlink is a clickable link from another website that points to yours. So if you're reading an article on like the New York Times, and in there it says Brandon Leibowitz, and if you click on it and it goes to my website, then I'd be getting a backlink from the New York Times. So you want to try to get as many different websites to talk about you, which is kind of tricky. It's like, how do you get other websites to talk about you? But
Yeah.
that is what Google wants. That's how Google's algorithm first started, based off backlinks. And it's still heavily based off backlinks. I mean, it's changed a lot over the years, how they look at backlinks, but it still has such a big impact on those rankings.
And those backlinks also work from Facebook or LinkedIn or all those social media pages.
So the backlinks, unfortunately, Google's blocked from all social media. So
Mm.
Google can't see what's on Facebook or
Mhm.
Instagram or any of these
Yeah,
sites.
they
So
cannot crawl the public stuff because
nah, so those
privacy.
backlinks
Yeah.
don't count. So even if
Mm.
they did, so anywhere where it's too easy, it
Mhm.
usually doesn't count. So it's like
Okay.
even like Wikipedia, I can go on Wikipedia and make a change on Wikipedia. So there's this tag
Mhm.
that websites put out saying no follow, saying don't count these backlinks. So social media, they don't
Mhm.
count. Like anywhere where it's too easy, like
To
Medium or Reddit or anything like that. But also the big thing about Google's algorithm is they want relevancy. They want quality backlinks. So it used to be if I have 100 backlinks and you have 200 backlinks, you would rank higher than me. But now Google says it's not the number of backlinks, it's the number of
the quality.
quality. And what is a quality backlink? To Google, a quality website is a website that's related to you. So if you're getting backlinks from social media sites and you're not doing social, like if you're a doctor and you're getting all these backlinks from Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, Google's going to think you're a social media website.
Mhm.
They're not going to think you're a doctor. So if you're a doctor, you need other websites related to like health, wellness, medicine, fitness, anything somewhat related to what you're doing. That's what you need. So relevancy
Mhm.
is really the biggest part of that puzzle.
So what about a blog? People write blogs. That's a good source of backlink.
Yeah, so blogging on other people's websites. Yeah, blogging on your own website, you're
Yeah.
just blogging on yours. But if you could blog on other people's websites or share articles, press releases, videos,
Mhm.
podcasts, whatever needs to be done,
Mhm.
but just getting other websites to talk about you. That's the biggest thing is how do you get other websites to talk about you? It's easy to get someone a blog post. People will be
Mhm.
happy to get a free blog post usually.
Yeah.
So give them a free blog post, or
Mhm.
if you're selling a product, you could give people like a free sample and they'll write a
Yeah.
review. Usually there's so many different strategies about getting backlinks, but you really have to focus on the quality, the relevancy. That's the big part.
That's great. And you know what? While watching your content, I found that you gave a tip. What basically, in summary, it's like you type the keywords that you are interested for your business, and then the results that are the top of the page on Google, you say, okay, those are the leading ones. So I'm gonna try to copy their SEO strategy. And I believe that's a very good and very wise tip. You know.
Yeah, yeah. We're not trying to be Google. It would be amazing if we could be Google, but Google changes every single day their
Yeah.
algorithm. So there's no way to really know. Even the people that work at Google, they're all separate departments. Like even the people that work on the algorithm, they're all separated. So nobody works on all of it. And there's so much AI machine learning nowadays that they don't even know how it works. So it's not trying to be Google, but seeing who's on that first page of Google for your keywords. And that is your competition. Even if you're selling products or like, even if it's like an Amazon and that's not your competitor, but if they're on that first page of Google or Wikipedia, they might not be your competitor, but if they're on that first page of Google, that's who you're competing with. So it doesn't like restaurants, like you might be a restaurant, you might have 10 restaurants on your block. They're all direct competitors offline, but online, if none of them rank on Google, they're not your
Yeah.
competition. If it's Yelp, Open Table, or all these like sites like that, that's your competition. You have to compete against Yelp or whatever is up there, TripAdvisor, whatever site for every
Mhm.
country is different where people search, but you just have to see who's on that first page of Google. And then you could use different tools to look at their backlinks. So there's all
Yeah.
these paid tools that you throw any website in there. I could throw
Mhm.
Google's website in there and see all their backlinks. I could throw your website in there. I could throw Facebook in there, throw about $100, give or take,
Mhm.
per month. But
Mhm.
you buy these tools and you can find your competitors and see everything they've done because the backlinks really are what ranks websites. Looking at their backlink strategy is going to tell you what backlinks they have. And one by one, you could try to go to those sites and see if you could get backlinks from them. These pay tools, they're called Ahrefs, Ahrefs, or Moz, or SEMrush is another big one.
Mhm.
Just kind of pick one. You don't need to buy all of them. Just pick
Mhm.
one, and that's going to show you everything you want to know and more about your competitors.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great strategy. Yeah, know better your competition. And you know what? That you mentioned that you may have competitors on the real world, but online you may not have competition. And that's a good thing because nowadays, when you search on Google Maps, you'll find restaurants, right? But the restaurants that would go and add content, your menu, your photos, and all that metadata that explains your restaurant will help you to rank better on Google. So let's say you search for a cafe and you will get maybe a cafe that is not the nearest to you, but it has better like information for Google to be able to serve it like this is the best option for you, right?
Yep, yep. So putting all that good content on the website, like you said, like metadata, you could put schema on there.
Mhm.
That's something that really helps out a lot. Schema.org is a
Mhm.
language that Google, Bing, and Yahoo the search engines actually created it, saying
Mhm.
put this on your website, we're going to enhance it. So if you're like a local business, put that
Mhm.
schema in there, and then that just really helps Google or the search engines read and better understand your page. But content is still very important. The more content you put on
Mhm.
every single page on your website, meaning text. Google can't really read images or videos yet. They're trying to, but they really
Mhm.
rely heavily on text. The more
Yeah.
text you have, the better. Like if you're an e-commerce website and all you have is pictures of your products, Google can only really read the file name or like the alt tags. They can't really read more than that. So they really need you to put text. The more
Mhm.
content, the more text you put on, the easier it is for them to understand what keywords you want to rank for. So the backlinks
Mhm.
build the trust. And once Google trusts you, then they're going to look at your website, the coding, all these technical aspects like title tag, meta descriptions, header tags, image alt
Mhm.
tags, schema, all this sitemap technical stuff. But that's
Yeah.
where they look at to figure out what your website's actually about and what keywords to show you for.
Yeah, and that's interesting. You say that this is like a puzzle, right? Because there are other things that came into question, like if your site is mobile friendly, right? That's one thing that they value as well. And if there are some things on your site that are not very mobile friendly, they will tell you with this Google tool. I mean, I do have some sites on Google, and then they send me like, you need to fix this text is very small, or you need to fix this button, or your file is not mobile friendly, take care of it. And those things help as well, right?
Yep, all that stuff definitely helps out, but those are just such tiny parts of the puzzle. Like I see a lot of my competitors' websites like page speed. A lot of people talk about page speed as part of Google's algorithm, which it's important, but it's not the most important for SEO because I see a lot of websites that you could use the Google page speed insights or
Mhm.
Pingdom or GT metrics and check page speed, and you'll see most websites are going to fail. It's important for people. Like if I go on your website, especially
Mhm.
on mobile, and it loads in 5 seconds, bad user experience. I'm going to hit that back button, but
Yeah.
for SEO, it's part of the algorithm, but it's a tiny part where
Hmm.
it's not the backlinks and the content. Like if those two things are done alone, everyone will
Hmm.
definitely see an impact, like a fast impact.
Yeah.
The other stuff like mobile friendly, site speed, they're all technical things that are important, but they're not the big part of it yet. I mean, everything
Yeah.
changes, so who knows?
Yeah. As you say, it's important for user experience, so the user does not feel like it's very slow, so they don't go away, right?
Yeah,
But in order for the Google crawler, it helps the other stuff. And we are talking a lot about Google, but most of the other search engine will have similar kind of algorithm, right?
yeah. And yeah, they look at user experience now too. Like Google's looking like, all
Mhm.
right, we rank you at the first position. What happens when people go to your website? Like if everyone searches on Google for your keywords, then they go to your website, but they leave immediately, Google thinks maybe you're not the
Mhm.
most relevant. Maybe something's off. Either the content's wrong or maybe it loads slowly. It doesn't look good on mobile. They're not going to show
Mhm.
you anymore. So user experience is definitely getting more traction. It's a bigger
Mhm.
piece. Like if you look in Google Search Console, they talk a lot
Yeah.
about user experience and making sure everything's all good for people to make it easy.
Yeah. And one thing that is important to mention about the traffic is that analytics, right? Because we're talking about that SEO strategies and how do you measure that? And that's why we have Google Analytics, right? I believe you are an expert on it as well, and you can like advise on how to implement the Google Analytics and tag managers for your site, right?
Yeah, you want to track everything you need to be tracking. And Google
Mhm.
Analytics is a free tool from Google that's going to show you a ton of like too much information, but data is invaluable. So what you have to do is you have to sign up. They give you a little tracking code. You put that tracking code on your website to verify that you actually own that website. They don't want to just give you data about anybody. They want to make sure you really own that website. But once you install that tracking code, then from that day on, you're going to start getting data. If you install the tracking code next month, you're not going to get this past month's data. So
Mhm.
I always tell people sign up or set it up sooner than later. If you're only getting like one or two people a day to your website, that's still data that you could use to
Mhm.
make statistically informed decisions instead of just guessing. Now you have the
Mhm.
data in front of you to see what's working or what will work better for you. But if you don't know how to install that tracking code, there's a ton of different ways to do it. I would just go into Google and search like how to install Google Analytics for, and then fill in the blank for WordPress, or how to
Mhm.
install Google Analytics for Wix or Squarespace, whatever you're on. And it shouldn't take more than 30 minutes. Like once you have it
Mhm.
installed, you're done. You never have to worry about installing that tracking code again. And also, Google has what's called Google Search Console. So that's another free one. And that one is all about SEO. So that one's going to show you what keywords you're ranking for, if your website's mobile friendly or not, page speed errors, user experience. But more importantly, it'll show you like the keywords you're ranking for, which is pretty nice. Or
Mhm.
unfortunately, only the top 1,000. It's not going to show you
Mhm.
all the keywords, but it'll show you the
Mhm.
top 1,000 keywords that you're ranking for in Google. So I always tell people use those two tools. They're from Google. If you're using like Shopify might give you analytics, or all these platforms, Facebook gives you an analytics, but it doesn't tell you the full story. Google
Mhm.
Analytics is going to tell you really what's going on because, like Facebook, if you're running ads on Facebook, they don't want to show you what happens after people leave Facebook. They'll show you,
Yeah.
we got you 500 people that go to your website from Facebook, but what happens after those people go to your website? Some of them might buy, some might not, but you're not going to see what's called this bounce rate, which means how
Mhm.
many people have came to your website and left immediately. Where you might see, like I've seen before, where people are spending thousands of dollars on Facebook ads, and they're just like, I'm not getting any sales. And then we look in Google Analytics, and 90% of the people that came to the website from Facebook bounced, left immediately. So then we're like, all right, maybe something's wrong with the ads or your landing page, or there's a lot of different reasons why people leave immediately, but we got to figure out what's going on because we're spending all this money to get you traffic and they're leaving. So there's some disconnect. Maybe your prices are too high, or there's a ton of different reasons why, but that's where it comes down to like conversion rate optimization, optimizing your website to actually convert that traffic into sales, leads, phone calls, whatever that conversion goal is.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the one of the many benefits of taking care of SEO, right? And then SEO comes hand to hand with digital marketing, and also you are an expert on it. And I was thinking you may be able to tell me what are the trends for digital marketing nowadays, because this digital marketing changed like all the time, right? What it was cool a few years ago now doesn't exist anymore. Like mine used to be like very trending and now doesn't exist, right? So what are the trendings that you think are cool right now, this 2022?
Yeah, no, it's tricky, but I would say like voice mobile is taking over a lot. Like everything is shifting to mobile, a lot of like voice search, which is changing everything for SEO. So instead of just typing keywords in, people are actually like speaking into the phone saying, so like in the past, you might say like Italian food near me or Italian restaurant near me, you would search on Google. But if you have your phone, you can say, where can I find the best Italian food near me? So it's a whole different type of search. Google is trying to understand the human language, and I'd say video is really important too because everybody wants visual content. People don't want to read. Attention spans are really short nowadays. So if you could get a presence on YouTube, because Google owns YouTube, Google's going to push YouTube as much as they can because videos are worth a lot of money. They don't want to lose that market share. Like
Yeah.
when you search on Google, sometimes you'll see, well, when you search on Google, there's always websites, but sometimes there'll be a map. If you're a local business, there might be images in there. Sometimes there's videos. Those videos, 90% of the time you see a video on Google, it's going to be a YouTube video because Google only cares about making money. If you search on Google, you don't click on an ad, Google doesn't make any money. But if you search on Google, you don't click on an ad, but you click on the video and it's a YouTube video, the first thing that always appears on YouTube videos, there's always an advertisement. So YouTube is making money, which is really Google making money. So I always tell people, try to create a presence on YouTube. I feel like that one's going to have a big impact. Like look at Instagram. Instagram is images and videos, but it's primarily videos. TikTok,
Mhm.
all video. Like everything is really going to video. Like
Mhm.
Pinterest allows videos now. All the social media platforms pretty much allow videos. Whereas in the past, like some of them didn't even allow it, but they're all going towards that. So trying to jump on that, but it's tough to really predict the future because
Yeah.
it changes so quick. It's always
Yeah,
constantly changing.
exactly. But you know what? You mentioned that YouTube is the more important for Google, and that makes sense. That a lot of content creators, they go and create their TikToks, and they just upload those TikToks, even with the TikTok branding on it, to YouTube, because it's gonna be on YouTube. It's gonna be searched well by Google, so it's gonna be easier for them to showcase that as well on Google, right?
Yeah, get that cross promotion because
Mhm.
not everyone's on TikTok, not everyone's on YouTube, but the more places you're on, the more likely you're going to get that audience. But YouTube is definitely one of the bigger ones out there. YouTube is like the second most popular website. Google's the number one most popular website. And then
Yeah.
Facebook and YouTube switch off every day between number 2 and 3. So
Mhm.
having a presence on there, it's not going to hurt. It's just going to get more eyeballs on your content.
Yeah, exactly. And that makes me think that I should upload videos about this podcast, because I do record the video, but I usually just upload the podcast. And maybe I'll start uploading a little bit more videos, because more traffic just organically, right?
Definitely, because
Yeah.
I do my own podcast too, and I would put it up on all the different platforms. But then YouTube is another platform; it's another
Mhm.
visibility, another exposure. Like throw it up on your website because you own the website; that's all yours. Versus put it up on like Spotify or
Yeah.
Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and all that stuff. You're just kind of like renting space off of them. They own that website. You don't own any of that stuff.
Mhm.
Whereas you put it on your own website, you own it. Even YouTube, you're just renting space. At least YouTube will pay you, but they pay you such a little amount. Like for every
Yeah.
1,000 views, you might get like $1 or so, give
Mhm.
or take. So you only make two on YouTube. At least they'll pay you a little bit, but it's
Yeah. Yeah, you need to have like a very big audience in order to work ear time in YouTube, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And one thing, I was talking with my wife a few days ago, and she wanted to make digital marketing on her social media. She wanted to post an image, and she was asking me what is the best time to put something on social media. And I was telling her, I'm going to talk with Brendan. Maybe he will know the answer. So, what do you think is the best time for somebody to go and post on social media?
It just depends on your audience. You have to know who your audience is and what times they're going to be active. Because if you're selling like baby clothes, you gotta target newborn or parents early in the morning, probably, or in the afternoon, maybe when their kids are at school, or if you're doing like sports, you can pretty much do it anytime because people are always interested in sports. But it's all about just knowing your audience and how receptive they are to it. Like same with like how frequently should you post. Like for myself, if I post every single day about SEO, people are gonna be like, this is too much information. Like I don't
Yeah,
need to know about SEO this much. Whereas if I have a page about like skateboarding, I could post 20 times a day. No one's gonna be mad about that because it's just
yeah,
more videos, more
yeah,
content. So it's just about knowing your audience. But usually like midweek, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's usually better in the mornings, but it just depends on your audience. But that's
yeah.
usually when like people send out emails. People send out
Mhm.
emails like on Tuesdays or Thursdays because like Mondays everyone's catching up. Fridays
Yeah,
people are kind of checked out. They're like ready for the weekend. But Tuesdays and Thursdays they're ready to go. They're working and then sending out like in the morning, afternoon kind of time. But then you have to account for time zones. Are you targeting the whole world or are you targeting United States, West Coast, East Coast, like all the time
yeah,
zones throw things off too, which also just makes it a little tricky. Like you might want to say, I
yeah,
want to post at 11 a.m., but 11 a.m. Pacific or East Coast or who is your audience? So that's the biggest
yeah,
thing is I always just say, look at your competition.
yeah.
Look at your other competitors, see what
Mhm.
days, what times they're posting and what engagement are they getting. Are they not getting engagement? Maybe cut that social media channel out, or maybe they're just doing it wrong. But you could just look from kind of spy
Mhm.
on them. Just like with SEO, you
Mhm.
can spy on the competitors.
Yeah,
Social media, it's even easier to spy on the competitors. You can see everything. You don't need to look at coding or backlinks or anything like that. You just see it all right there.
yeah. Yeah, and that's interesting. You should know your audience, so that's the like the best way to do. But also all the other things that you mentioned are like small pieces of the puzzle as well, because the time is very important, the time of the day, and those days during the week are better than weekends because of the obvious reasons you mentioned, right? Usually over a weekend we don't take attention to email or to social media that much because we are hanging outside, right? But
Mhm.
that's a good thing to consider, right? Tuesdays and Thursdays sounds like a very good place for that kind of. And then you also are good at email marketing. Can you tell me a little bit about it? Because usually what I try to do is try to unsubscribe for everything that I have because I just get my email full of spam, you know. But sometimes there are content that is worth to get via email. So what are your takes on email marketing?
Well, yeah, email, you gotta put yourself in the user's point of view. If you're just sending out emails promoting yourself, nobody cares about that. But if you're
Mhm.
sending out emails offering value, offering insights, people will read those emails. So if you're just not spamming, but just like promoting yourself, no one
Mhm.
cares. Like also you gotta give value. But the main thing is like you gotta collect people's email addresses, which is tough. Don't buy any list of email addresses. You have to get people to sign up by offering something for free. You can't just have a pop-up saying sign up to my newsletter. No one
Mhm.
cares about your newsletter.
Yeah.
People are kind of selfish. They want to know what's in it for me. So what am I going to get for signing up? You got to give them like a free ebook, or if you're an e-commerce website, say sign up and I'll give you 10% off your first order, whatever it is. But you got to give some incentive. You got to hook them with something. And then once you got their email, then you got to provide them content value. Don't just promote yourself. Provide them
Mhm.
content like value. Just like when you're blogging on your own website too. Like a lot of people will blog on their own website, just promote themselves, which you got to offer value. Don't want to promote yourself. Once you start promoting yourself, you lose people. They just see it's not personable. It's just some
Mhm.
self-promotional piece, and they you lose that trust. So offer
Yeah.
value. That's the biggest thing. And email is going to be the most valuable way to get traffic or most powerful form of marketing. Not many people talk about because it's so powerful. And you have an email list of 10,000 people. You send out an email, all 10,000 people will get that email. It's not like social media where they only show it to like a fraction of your audience. Like Facebook, only 5% of the audience, that 5% of the people that like your page will ever see what you post without you having to advertise and spend money to boost that post up on Facebook, which is really just advertising on their
Mhm.
platform.
Okay, that's very interesting. And that was one of the other questions that how did you manage, you know, your Google ads or your Facebook ads or Everyone has ads now. Spotify, Amazon even have ads. So, what is your take on that? Because as you say, SEO brings free traffic to your site, right? But what is like the actual benefit of going and do purchase an ad campaign on Facebook or Google, or what's the deal with that?
No, no, it works to run ads. It's just because SEO takes about 6 months. So if you're a brand new
Mhm.
website and you're like, I want to get some traction, you're doing SEO, you're not going to see any movement for a while. So ads kind of kickstart that going. But once you stop spending money on ads, you disappear. So that's why ads are kind of like a short-term way to get traffic. But if you're making a positive return on your investment, then you can keep running ads all day long and keep making that money. But it just comes down to what's your return on your investment? Are you making money off these ads, or are you losing money? But the big thing is, like I said earlier, like a lot of the traffic that comes to your website, they're going to leave immediately. I think about half of the traffic that comes to your website leaves immediately. That bounce rate seems kind of weird, seems pretty high, but just in general, about 40 to 60% of your traffic leaves immediately. Either your website loads slowly, or they're on their mobile phone, somebody calls them, they got distracted, or who knows what's going on. A lot of reasons why. But you could run these ads, what are called remarketing, where you follow people around. So anyone, like if you go on Amazon, you don't look at the product, or you look at the product, but you don't buy it, you'll see ads follow you around for that product.
Mhm.
So those ads are very effective. Like someone that goes to my website and doesn't go to the contact us page, I could follow them around. Or someone that goes, like if I'm an e-commerce website, someone that goes, adds a product to the shopping cart, but doesn't check out, I could follow them around and say, hey, here's a coupon for 10% off because you're that close to
Yeah.
purchasing. Something happened, you didn't make that purchase, but you were almost there. Let me try to remarket to you.
Mhm.
Those ads are really, really effective and very cheap
Mhm.
too, compared to like cold ads. These are warm leads. People have been to your website, they know who you are, and now you're just keeping yourself top of mind.
Mhm. Yeah, that's interesting. And what do you think about this push notifications on your browser? Most sites nowadays, they do ask you for notification, then you can like do run advertising on them as well. What do you think about that?
I haven't done that too much because I feel like it's kind of like obtrusive. People don't want to see that. And
Mhm.
like nowadays, 60% of the traffic comes from mobile. So they're not doing that on mobile, but desktop, I know you can do those push notifications, but
Mhm.
I never say yes to them. I don't think many people say yes to those push notifications
Mhm.
unless they're like a big fan of that brand. So if you're
Mhm.
like a small mom and pop shop, I don't feel like people are going to be like, yeah, I want to get your notifications. It's maybe like
Mhm.
if you're like a Walmart or like a
Mhm.
Amazon, but even then, I don't see
Yeah.
them doing it too often, but you could try it out. But I just feel like there's so much going on, and nowadays, like minimal is better, less is better. People
Mhm.
don't need all this clutter, and there's too much
Yeah.
noise and too many distractions, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what, Brendan, at the end of the podcast, I usually have like a list of um questions like are like kind of personal, and it's like something that you just can answer. And one of them is, if you had to give yourself an advice like Brendan from 10 years before, what advice will be?
I'll get a mentor sooner than later. I've had mentors, but really
Mhm.
mentors help out so much. If you're trying to be a business owner, they're
Mhm.
going to really show you the ins and outs, what works, what doesn't work. You could learn from their mistakes without having to actually do those mistakes. And that's really helped out a lot over the years, is just having other people to talk to about this stuff and get ideas and bounce ideas off them.
That's great, because I have invited a lot of guests to the podcast, and most of them have been thinking about the same thing about mentoring. Actually, there are some of them that are like advocates for mentoring, and that's very cool thing because you just nailed it on it. It's like getting to learn from others' mistakes, and they are willing to share with you so you don't make the same mistakes as them as they did, right? That's
Yep.
that's great advice, and yeah, very very appreciated advice. And then I believe if you had a mentor 10 years before, it will be like boost your career more, like way much better than now, right?
Yeah, it accelerates everything. That way,
Yeah.
you skip the growing pains and kind of learn or see what works, what doesn't work, and they'll help you out a lot along the way. Even if it's not in the same industry, as long as they're willing to help out and they have insights as a business owner in the past or whatever they did in the
Mhm.
past, they could give you some of that insight as well.
Yeah, that's great. And then what is your favorite place in the world? If you had to pick a place to stay, what would that be?
I like Los Angeles for the weather,
Yeah.
or Barcelona. Those two places.
Okay,
Those are
yeah.
good
But
places.
you live in LA already, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you have a beautiful weather, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that you don't have like very cold, neither very hot. It's like
No,
perfect.
always the same weather. So like it out here. Got spoiled. Got the beach. Got the mountains here. Got pretty much
Yeah,
everything. So I love it out
yeah,
here. But Barcelona, if I didn't live in LA and had to choose somewhere else, I'd probably go with Barcelona because I like
yeah.
the culture out there and it's similar to LA. A little bit hotter, but everything is really nice. And they got the beaches and they got a lot of fun stuff out there.
Yeah. And by any chance, do you speak Spanish?
A little bit,
Oh, really?
but not well, but a little bit, especially in LA, growing up here, it helps
Mhm.
out. So learn Spanish, but not
Yeah,
well.
because a lot of Latinos in LA, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of good Mexican food, a lot of good stuff out here.
Yeah, yeah. I have family in LA, and the first time I went there, everything was in Spanish, like in their neighbor. And I was thinking I was still in Mexico because a lot of the places were like just Mexico, you know.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
little spots in downtown LA that are like that, where it's just yeah,
yeah.
super hectic, and yeah, it's all these little pockets of LA. That's also the thing I love about LA is like got all the different areas like Koreatown, and like Chinatown, and
Yeah,
all the different areas with good food and different cultures, which is nice.
yeah. That's great. Yeah, and then if you could recommend me a book, it can be fiction, non-fiction, or self-improvement, whatever. What book do you think you could recommend me?
I like the power of now. It's a good one to like live in the moment and not dwell too much on the future or past because it's tough to be in the
Yeah.
moment, but just to enjoy the now and be in the moment. That one I feel is important.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever you do in the moment is gonna bring a bright future or not. That depends on the moment. That's interesting.
Hmm.
Okay, cool. And then if you had to listen a song like for the rest of your life till eternity, what song do you think that will be?
I like probably maybe Bob Marley, like One Love or something like that, where it's just like nice,
Relaxed.
relaxing, good vibes, positivity, something like
Yeah.
that would be something good to hear on repeat where it's not gonna get sick of it. You could just listen to that one forever, I feel like.
Cool. And then what about a movie or a TV series that you can recommend me?
I like The Office a lot for the TV series.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, as well.
That one is a good one. It's funny.
Yeah.
It is always good. Steve Carell and all of them are always good. So that's fun where I need a quick little laugh. I'll throw that on and just watch it, even though I've seen it, watched the whole thing a few times, but it's always good. It's always fun.
Yeah, it always is funny even when you already saw the episodes, right?
Yeah.
That's I love The Office as well. I usually get my dose of The Office like because I am subscribed to YouTube to the Office channel and they bring you clips and that's like it's very funny.
Mhm.
And what about the podcast or YouTube or web resource that you can recommend me? I know you have a podcast, so that would be a must. And what else do you think you can recommend me?
I just listened to as many different ones, but I like one, this guy Lex Friedman has some interesting podcasts where
Mhm.
talk about like artificial intelligence, like creating like he has some really unique guests and he asks really good questions. I like his information. Learned a lot about the world and like everything that's going on. And like he talks about like building robots and like now the robots are asking like, am I alive and stuff like that, which is really strange. So
Oh boy,
interesting. His podcast blows my mind every single time.
cool. I'm gonna take a look at it.
Yeah,
And
not
if
about digital marketing, but it's interesting. It's
yeah,
a
it's like in general, like technology in general. Cool.
Mhm.
And do you have something to say to the audience, like as a goodbye?
Yeah, no, so thanks everyone for listening. And well, be patient with all the digital marketing. Like this stuff takes time. It's not immediate. It all takes time to gain that traction, to see the results. So a lot of people kind of get discouraged and say, oh, not getting these rankings, just going to give up. But SEO does take, unfortunately, about 6 months. So just be patient. Even running paid ads, you still have to like run the ads. You have to test the ads out, test out landing pages. So everything takes time. That's where just patience with digital marketing helps out a lot. Otherwise, you're going to get discouraged, but you'll see that growth. It will slowly be moving up. It just takes time. It's not immediate, unfortunately, but do the right things and you'll see the results come in.
Yeah, the good things are for the ones that can wait, right? All
Mm-hmm.
right, cool. Thank you very much, Brendan. I really appreciate your time. And I guess that was it, guys. Thanks for listening. I hope you like it. If you like it, please share. And if you didn't like, please share with your enemies. The thing is that we should share. All right. Okay. Take care. See ya.
Thanks for everyone for listening. And if they do wanna, I create a special gift for everyone. So for everyone that's watching or listening, if they go to my website, seooptimizers.com, they can find that gift there. That's SEOOPTIMIZERS.com/gift. And they can find that there and find all my contact information as well.
That's great. Thank you, Brendan.
Thanks for having me
Bye.
on.
Yeah.